So it's time to get some cryptocurrency related updates. There are quite a few updates today, actually, that are quite interesting, let's just say at the very least. Mostly related to a little bit of news from China. So China is very hot about crypto right now. I don't know why, but there's this coordinated effort to push cryptocurrencies. In fact, talking at mainstream media, the state sponsors mainstream media. This is really important. Very well about Bitcoin and Ethereum being the top performing assets of this year. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We also have this ongoing rumor going on about Kucoin. So this just happened roughly about 1.5 hours ago. There seems to be a large withdrawal from Kucoin. So apparently $150 million was moved from Kucoin wallet to an unknown address. $150 million. It's under investigation. It's ongoing, but this is reported by Coach Koichi on our channel, on our Telegram channel. Thank you for that, Koichi. And yeah, people are wondering what's going on with that. So we'll explore a little bit. I think there's, with all these centralized exchanges, $150 million is not the end of the world, right? So even if it is a hack, it's not going to end them. It's just going to make their lives very painful. But, they'll list a few projects and they'll probably recoup the costs. But the key here is, obviously, if you're scared of exchange hacks, etc., this is always a wake-up call. I think there could be bigger, and I've suffered bigger too. So I personally been a victim of the Mt. Gox hack, and that just took away almost everything. In fact, the legal procedure is still going on right now, and nobody has got a single cent back in the aftermath of that hack. So just be very careful. So we got Peanut Walters. Thank you so much for the $9.99 donation. Thank you, and just respect for that. So it might be, we will speculate on what's happening. We also have a update on all that yield farming stuff. So the cool stuff about yesterday, I actually stayed up until almost like 3 a.m. yesterday, cleaning out my farms. It was just like a lot of stuff to do. You know, it was pleasantly surprising, though. I think that the experience was overall great because I was harvesting a lot of money. The cool story, not cool story, you guys probably know this. So throughout this week, I was a little bit more lukewarm on yield farming. I think you've probably seen this as a trend going on, mostly because all the new farms that are coming up are a lot more scammy. So it's a lot easier to lose money when exploring new farms than to make money in that sense, especially if you're not careful with the pool type 2s out there. It was not great. So for a period of time, I just said, you know what, let me take a chill pill, let me relax, keep farming the ones that I have been farming already. Even though the rewards are lower, I kept farming those, and pleasantly collecting a bunch of stuff, and yeah, got enough for a vacation. So that's great. And you probably know what I've been wishing for right now. It's been a long time, just needed some break. Probably want a beach or some time, that's, I think, for the whole market, just relaying back to my experience with this entire market, it's been extremely tiring. So I've been in calls, in and out, doing a lot of research. A lot of last week and this week was looking at NFTs, non-fungible tokens, all the new projects are there, and trying to force myself not to FOMO into any projects. After all, I've been involved in the NFT space. If you guys think about it, I was very big on Engine, and I'm still am very big on Engine too, 2017 until all the way until now on NFT gaming. Obviously, I'm taking a more skeptical look because the growth of this, I feel like it needs someone who knows what they're doing to guide this whole NFT space forward. Because unfortunately, there's so many projects out there that are just trying to make a quick buck, unfortunately, and have a very inflationary NFTs or designing games around concepts that absolutely do not work together. And this is a situation where we actually want to help the entire industry instead of being kind of infected by greed, talk about it in a more realistic limelight. And this is when I played a little game of devil's advocate with Yatsu. So this is one of the discussions that happened yesterday. So during yesterday's live stream, if you guys caught that, so I actually re-edited the video so that the volume and stuff all works. So yesterday when we did the live stream with Yat, unfortunately, the audio was just all over the place, mostly because we're just trying to pair up everything on Zoom, and I had the worst experience with Zoom this entire week, just mostly because like when people talk, they sometimes move away from the microphone, just like a little bit like this, and the volume decreases exponentially. So this was a situation where, after getting the live stream done and then editing it in post, this whole debate is just fantastic. So we have this whole entire discussion. I played the devil's advocate with him a lot, and a lot of people commented after this video, especially on Telegram, that I did not go easy on this. I went, I would balls to the wall, like very, very skeptical, very, very pointing out at the major flaws in this space and how to grow. And I think that's the best way to grow this entire space, is to be very skeptical, look at all the pitfalls, look at all the scams that also happen in this space too. Because I think NFT is also rife with a lot of people trying to just jump on the hype wave, creating assets for no particular reason, and it floats because it floats, but it's not going to last for long, and it's not going to allow this entire space to last for long. And I think this is why I'm very skeptical, is because I do actually care. So anyways, that debate, I will definitely encourage you to see it. I'll post it up on the live stream right now here, just to give you guys an idea. We got Gerald Draper Jr. Rare MT can go crazy in the near future, and I think so too. I think it's a distinct possibility that this thing can really take off in the gaming front if game designers. I think one of the key things was if game designers focus on designing a game around trading, not fitting current games towards trading, because I feel like that's a recipe for disaster. Because a lot of current games that's out there right now, like Hearthstone or Fortnite or even Fall Guys, they're designed specifically around having players not being able to trade. Because the moment you allow trading, it kills off their monetization, how they make their little money, and that in fact kills the marketing, which kills the game. So this is a situation where you have to design a game around rare NFTs, or I was saying on Rev, they have a situation where they rent out cars to players. So instead of selling cars continuously to players, they have a rent model going on, almost like a yield farm. You stake your car, now it can be rented to other players. That's an interesting concept, and it takes a lot of exploration to get that working. That's the whole point about game design, and I was very happy to be able to talk about these more advanced topics on that debate. So yeah, big shout outs to that. Now, everyone's talking about, have you checked out this box, have you checked out that? I did check out a lot of quite a few yield farming situations. I'll just go very quickly. I actually wanted to make a 10-15 minute episode today, but I'll go very quickly through the yield farms that I'm in. So like I said, I wasn't very super actively hunting for newest opportunities, and outright so there's a lot of scams, and we'll see that in a sec as well. So YFE is a pool I'm still in. So here they have these mixed pools, and the way I do it is that for these pool two types, it has 2% exposure, like 2% exposure to YFE. And the way it works for me is that if I already have Kyber or Lend or Compound or Ren, so I go into these pools. So if I'm already into those coins anyways, so I just pull those out of Binance and put it here to yield farm. The rewards aren't amazing as like before. Before, with these type of mixed pools with rare coins, you're gonna get like 1,000% APY or something crazy like that. But now I'm still settling with 100-ish. That's okay. That's not the end of the world. Next up, we have Cream. So Cream's gone through some rough times, some good and bad. It went from 50 to 150 to 250, and then went all the way back down. Like the whole, it's almost like a symmetrical triangle. So when I rode the wave for this, and one of the reasons why I rode the wave and was kind of very behind Cream is how fast they're developing. So if you actually see right now, not only do they have a lending platform, but they also have a swapping platform. They also have a new Creamy swap platform, which is specific to stablecoins, so it adds additional liquidity. Right now, that functionality is just amazing. And in terms of people are asking me, what is this like Creamy USD and all this new pool? So which pools I'm in right now is I am in the Cream W wrapped Ether pool. That's been one of my staple ones for a while. And also over here, I am in the 7-day log for Cream. but I'm definitely not in the 1 year lock. I think that's a little bit too crazy for me. Especially, I can't believe that people are willing to lock it up for like 4 years. With initially this APY was like a few thousand, but now it's just dropped down, and that's kind of crazy. So anyways, that's too crazy for me. But also CYUSD is where it's at now. It's around 73% for USDT savings. So this is where you drop it into the Creamy deposit. So you deposit your USDT or USDC, any of the stable coins. You're going to suffer a little bit of a loss. So yesterday I was looking at how much kind of slippage you get, but you're going to take a little bit of slippage loss. But in the end result, you're going to get around 73% on your stable coins. So, if you compare that to a bank, that's kind of insane, right? So you're depositing stable coins inside that pool, you get 73% instead of 0.73%, which is what my bank's offering me now. Like, really, that's a state of things. Like, technically speaking, like the bank right now, I think it's a situation with the bank too. I don't really blame them too much. They have like, right now with my local bank, right? So with the banks in Hong Kong, I mean, actually, I have a few bank accounts, but almost every single one of them, they're offering me like ridiculously low rates for loans. I think the banks are just in trouble. They just can't generate that money. But crypto, we have like 70 something percent APY, which is just like unheard of still, right? It's not the crazy days of 7,000%, but it's good enough. I'm also in a few of so that's about Cream. We also have a few, let's see. Oh yeah, this one's still on ETH. So this is also something I'm participating in as well. This is a little bit different from mining. This is something called quotation mining. And this is very interesting because, and this is my biggest regret too, like earlier this week, I spent the time to learn this and I farmed it a bit, but the currency just went straight up afterwards. And I was like, oh my God, why did I not do more? Anyways, I wanted to share this with you guys a little bit. It's much more involved, but much more strategic as well. So instead of just the traditional yield farming, you're yield farming for a purpose. The purpose is to figure out or tell the blockchain what the price of a certain pair is. So if you're looking at the YFI pair, so there's a YFI ETH pair, and there's also a ETH USD pair. This one's called Nest when you get the coin. But anyway, so how it works is that you basically report the price of this pair. You also deposit USDT and ETH. This way, if you lie to the blockchain, right? If you lie in this price quotation, someone can potentially attack that and arbitrage you out. They can make if you lie there, they can just make it the correct rate, arbitrage you out, and make money. So that's your incentive to be truthful, is where you want to be participating, but also you want to provide the truth. It does cost a fee to do this, but what happens is that the output increases over time. So it's kind of like competitive. It's like this is much more strategic and competitive, and something that I'm doing when I'm kind of bored and I want to play this. It's like there's almost a strategy to it where you try to scout when someone just did a quotation just now, so you can see that this transaction, someone just did it, and they'll be able to claim 3,000 something Nest, and it costs them a little bit of fee. But the issue here is that the moment they do it, the reward goes to zero. So you have to be very strategic. You have to kind of beat everyone else to it in this situation. So anyways, that's kind of the craziness about Nest farming right there. But it's much more evolved, but also much more kind of strategic and kind of useful in a way as well. Then we also have farms related on a few. So yesterday we were looking at Flamingo Finance. So Flamingo Finance, just to fill in the story there, unfortunately there was a problem that they encountered, so they paused the farming. But the way it works with Flamingo is it's a zero pre-mine coin. So there's no distribution, no pre-mint, 100% distributed according to participation. And the way it works is that you deposit either your Ethereum, wrap BTC, USDT, or you can deposit your Uni ETH WBTC pool, deposit it here. And then the funny thing here is that you deposit it and then you create a cross-chain asset. This is something that I spent almost an hour experimenting with yesterday. And then you migrate that coin onto Neo. So you have to have one of the Neo wallets, Neo Lion or O3 wallet, and you need to do the cross chain. So you move those assets across to the Neo chain and you start farming on Neo, which is, I think, something that's becoming very, very popular recently. I think a lot of projects are already doing this cross-chain idea, trying to get Ethereum users out of Ethereum and moving on to another platform. So yesterday, Flamingo mining paused for a little bit, mostly because of some errors with wallets. I'm not going to get into the drama and politics behind it. I actually also experienced a little bit of a delay on the wrapping process. So for me personally, when I wrapped my WETH, when I did this step, it took around an hour. And during the hours, I was freaking out. I was like, where's my cross-chain asset gone? Where's my 10 ETH? Like, I literally put 10 ETH there and it just like vanished. And then an hour later, I saw the confirmation, I saw the log, and I saw like I can cross the chain. But there was just 1 hour there. I was like freaking out a little bit. It's like I'm like, it's on chain, it's okay. I did every step right. It's just a delay, network delay. It's okay. But anyways, so that's the current situation with Flamingo. They paused the mining, at least for a little while. So we'll talk about that. So they delayed it, and Flamingo, they're delaying it until further notice. So they'll give us a notice very, very soon. So that's the kind of key here. So it'll be published at 2 a.m. UTC today, what's going to happen with the Flamingo mining. So there's a little bit of a pause on that. I'm also mining quite a few assets on Binance Smart Chain. So I'm both in Burger, Cake, and what's it? Burger, Cake, there's Pancake, and there's another food one, Bake. All right, Cake and Bake. I can always get those confused. But anyways, so the way it works with Binance Smart Chain based farms is that you just have to switch to the Binance Smart Chain. You get these assets, and yeah, it's pretty much the same. You can use your MetaMask account, but on the Binance Smart Chain. I'll give you guys a tutorial. I always said I was going to do one, but it takes like a while to get it done. But anyway, so with these, I'm farming a few of these more rare stuff. Like, so for example, I have Polkadot. Yes, I eventually got some Polkadot exposure after resisting it for a long time. I did want to get some Polkadot exposure. So something like the .bnb pair, you have around 200% APY, which is all right. It's all right. It's just all right. So anyways, I thought if it's parking there already on exchange, why not just withdraw it and just go yield farming with it? So that's a situation where I'm in pancake swap, a little bit of bakery swap, and a little bit of burger swap. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. So the Binance side is all about food groups. And already very quickly, I mean, on Binance Innovation Labs, burger swap is already listed. Yeah, and I think Bake is already listed too. So it's kind of crazy how fast Binance moves on this. I mean, Burger was something that, if you guys remember on the discussion with Chandler, Song, and Ryan, yeah, they were like, Ryan was very, very into Burger. So, go figure. But anyway, so with these ones, I'm just a little bit more careful. A lot of times, with these assets, let's see, just going back to the pancake swap example again, it's very easy to get lured in by the very, very huge numbers. So for example, for pancake, obviously, if you're farming and you're farming the cake / BNB, there is a huge reward. It's 3,000 something percent, 3,572%. But that's because you're exposed to cake, right? This is where the danger and the trap that came from last, kind of this impermanent loss idea came in. So generally speaking, I usually only touch coins that I have. So even though these pools are lower in terms of APY, I'm not going full out greed. I'm just, I'm staying usually away from these pools, even though there's a big kind of glowing gold border around them. Yesterday prices, so it depends on how stable basically the cake prices are, and you just got to be a lot more careful. So it's extremely easy to get totally wrecked in these cases. So anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it for yield farming. There are a few people were talking about orbs yesterday. Just be very, very careful. There are a lot of new farms that pretty much just 100% work on the Ponzi-nomics or the pyramid-nomics side of things, where they don't provide any sort of value. They don't provide an exchange. They don't provide, lending. All the ones I talked about, they use yield farming as a way to bootstrap the project. But some projects are just purely, farm our coin and just hype this coin up. Those coins, that will end up in disaster because there's no functionality, there's no purpose, right? So a few people on the chat yesterday, they're all talking about orbs, but with coins like that, especially because they're exposing you to both orbs and with ETH, that's going to end up in big disaster. That's going to end up in a giant death spiral. We know that's always been the case with all these coins. It's going to have a hype cycle, a dump cycle, and a game over cycle. So just be very, very careful about the greed in the space. When people are greedy, I usually just get out. So that's the case. Gas station. Also today, just that's something that's pretty good is Ethereum gas prices are finally a little bit lower. I can't really spell this morning for some reason, but ETH gas is finally a little bit lower. It's like 60 now. It's almost laughable. I'm like laughing all the way. And this is partially why I consolidated a lot of farms yesterday. Gas prices are lower. I mean, I think I'm like, the lower the gas prices are, the more excited I'm for crypto. I don't know about you guys, but like the thought, like when gas prices were like 400 to 500, I was just like, you know what? My hands are off. I don't want to touch anything because transactions can cause, especially interacting with smart contracts. If you wanted to like interact with MakerDAO during that time, like have a nice life, right? So I feel like right now I'm a much happier state where everything is a little bit more calm. The greed is not as crazy as well, so we don't have these insane pumps and dumps that come with these farming tokens. So slightly better. Before it was just like absolute crazy. So, okay, let's talk about the Kucoin drama. We got Brian Beck says, wow, that's awesome. Finally lower, guys. Finally. Yes. And then we got Magic Turtle. All the no pre-mine stuff is mostly just a pyramid scheme with the founders mining early on, betting there's a hype cycle. 6 hours later, IMO. Absolutely. There was so much abuse of the no pre-mine stuff that was happening around 2 weeks ago. Like, no pre-mine is really great. It happened with Wi-Fi, and the founders need to tell people early, and obviously everyone get ready, right? And this was the case with Flamingo, but Flamingo had a UI screw up, which screwed it up, and it was just a big mess. But anyways, if it executed correctly, it should have been fair. Right, that was a key word here. Right? It needs to be fair. If the developers get in early and they're the only ones with early access to it, that's unethical. Like, you might as well just do a pre-sale at that point. So anyways, following up with the chat, we got Ryan Bex's thoughts on RFuel. So any new gems? So RealChain, RFuel is part of RealChain. I actually spoke to the guys there actually. So it's a funny story. I'll fill you guys on that. But they're based in Hong Kong, and we actually met up actually, surprisingly. So they fill me a lot on what's happening with Polkadot and what they're building, and I'll fill you guys in later on that, but it's pretty cool. There was also a lot of doubt over these projects as well, right? Because initially I'm very, very skeptical about Polkadot, but I'm actually warming up a lot more to it as I discover more and a lot more legitimate projects building on there. So I feel like RealChain is one of those projects that is like, they actually have like real product building on there, so it's pretty cool. We got also it's one of those projects that it's like people didn't know much about it, and there was a bit of a FUD wave around 2-3 weeks ago, and then they're like, oh shoot, Fox, how do you deal with this? And I'm just like, ignore the haters. And now they did that, and I think that's great. So we got Illinois Kamataski says, thank you so much for donations as well, both Ryan Beck and Illinois. So Kucoin just hacked for $150 from the hot wallet, but they said insurance will pay everyone. Do you think this will influence the price of BTC? Not really. Okay, so this goes back to this Kucoin thing where Kucoin So 150 million was moved. Let me just confirm, double check. So this is thank you, Koichi, for this. So we talked about this early on. Let's look at this in a lot more closer. So we saw both this funds moving. We saw also Kucoin shares dropping in price, and then they were looking for updates. Let me just go and double check with the latest Kucoin updates, Kucoin.com. So let's see. Oh, this is posted a few minutes ago. Let's see. So, okay, so we detected some large withdrawals since September 26th, blah, blah, blah. That's pretty standard speech. Oh, come on, KuCoin. You don't even know how to use. You need to, like, all right, anyways, I'm going to stop complaining. To assets and holdings. Okay, let's see. That's number 1. 2, we are locating the reason for the incident, and we'll keep you updated once it's confirmed. Please rest assured that if any user fund is affected by this incident, it will be covered completely by KuCoin and our insurance fund. So I think this is probably the admission of guilt here, because if this was a legitimate withdrawal, so let's say if there was a huge whale with $150 million and they withdrew it to their own wallet, KuCoin would just rush to say, yo, this is a user fund. Whales are whales. They have $150 million. We don't want to reveal who it is, but this is the case. So I would say, this is a silent way of saying, it's very likely to be a hack. Because otherwise they wouldn't say, oh, we rest assured any user fund affected by the incident will be completely covered by KuCoin, right? So it's definitely an incident rather than a normal function. So if you read between the lines there, that's very clear. It's an admission of some sort of anomaly. They don't know what, so maybe it's a hacker, maybe it's insiders pulling this off, whatnot. But the hot wallets that were active on KuCoin, yeah, they were emptied. So the way these exchanges work is that hot wallets are wallets that are controlled by the computer. So that's why they're hot. They're connected to the internet. They're accessible. And the reason why they use this is because when users withdraw, users expect to have funds like that instantly hitting their accounts. That's pretty common. I mean, we all like that. We all like the responsiveness of that. So that's why there's large sums. And this happened to Binance as well. This happened to Kucoin just now. It seems like very likely it's some sort of incident that caused them to lose all the funds, or in fact, not all, but $150 million worth of funds there. Will it impact Bitcoin prices? I think that's a good question. I mean, it used to be the case, right, that actually, let me just finish reading this as well. KuCoin, to ensure the security of users' assets, will conduct a thorough security review. The deposit and withdrawal service will be suspended during this period. We will restore the service gradually after ensuring a safe state. We will keep you updated. So yet again, this this is very standard for a hot wallet hack. The sad part of this is like I'm using the word standard. Oh, this is a standard, standard operating. It's like this happens so many times that we pretty much know what the exchanges are gonna do if this happens, right? This is just so shameful. But this happened a lot, especially in 2017. Exchanges have a lot of moving parts. These wallets get hacked. It's one of the biggest reasons why I have ledgers. I mean, ledgers, Trezors. There's actually a bunch of these on my desk. I'm not going to show you all of them, but I'll leave it mysterious. But ledgers, Trezors, hardware wallets, they are your way of keeping your cryptocurrencies safe. On that note as well, if you guys want to buy a ledger, feel free to use my referral code. I think I've been promoting that a lot less than than I should, but anyways, on that note as well, yeah, you need one of these, right? You need a ledger, you need a Trezor, or some way to keep your cryptocurrencies away from computers. The reason why these are safer and these are referred to as cold wallets is because they have a separate device, a separate memory chip. In fact, 2 memory chips on board. So one, like for these, a Trezor means it has a memory chip to deal with communication with the computer, but also another chip right? That deals, it's called a secure element that just keeps the keys, and it's very, very secure. Like no hacker can breach your computer, access this device, and get your keys out of it. This is why this is so much safer, and this is why this is like the gold standard in crypto, right? But exchanges, they do that. They keep the majority of the user funds in cold storage. But what happens is that they also have one that's based on a computer, just like running a program, running the wallet. It's like your MetaMask on your computer running there. The reason why they do that is because it's just much faster to use. They don't want an employee going there and like, pressing those little buttons every time someone does a withdrawal. That's like too painful, right? So hot wallet hacks happen because computers are so easy to breach. There are so many hardware vulnerabilities on, say, your average Mac or your PC. Both of them still have vulnerabilities, mostly because Intel sucks. If you actually look at Spectre and Meltdown, both Intel and AMD, they were both involved in that. And yeah, like sometimes just browsing a website can trigger something catastrophic. And that's just an issue of security. The more you find out about security, the more vulnerable you feel how weak these computers are. So if hackers can breach it, they can take the funds. And I think that's the situation that happened with Kucoin. So, that's pretty much the case. Yeah, that's there. So yeah, pretty much that seems to be what happened. Do I think it's going to affect the prices? So they're doing a quick AMA very quickly. I'll say this, guys. If you guys are concerned about this, definitely move funds. Like that means if you guys are concerned or worried, just definitely that means move funds to your ledger or your Trezor. All right. Like for me, when I see this, I'm like, whatever. I don't have that much in KuCoin. It's okay. Not the end of the world. Let them deal with it. I can wait patiently. But if this will essentially be the end of the world for you guys, you got to consider your strategy. Not financial advice, of course, but if you guys are concerned, you guys should look at methods appropriate for you. So for me, keeping it on a ledger and Trezor, that has been the safe keep after the Mt. Gox hack. Something like this, Mt. Gox was like when the hacker took a majority of their funds because Mt. Gox was stupid, and I don't know how they did it, but yet again, I've experienced that myself, and that process, that legal battle process, if an exchange actually goes down after a hack, that's going to be catastrophic. Now, whether Kucoin will go down or not, I don't know. It's probably unlikely. We saw that with the Binance hacks. These exchanges make so much money anyways. They just need to make a little bit more. But, if it was like $2 billion, then probably they'll just die. But anyways, that's my 2 cents. Okay, let's see. Marks killed wrestling. Thanks for your help box money. I got my FSW from Swap. That's awesome. Keeping up with the chat. That's amazing. I actually didn't expect that to happen, but that goes to show how awesome the Trust Swap guys are in helping people. I think that's one of the best things about Jeff. Like he actually cares about people. And if you actually saw the video update, and I'll put this here as well, I'll post that here. This is just a follow up from the fireside chat with Jeff Gatekis of TrustSwap. It's pretty insane how we managed to help you there. So we got Putin says on the issue on the topic of TrustSwap. TrustSwap went from we are the golden standard of security on rug pulls and token release. We can only cover one part of funds. I don't know. I need to figure out what's happening. There's all FUD. So just something with Hatch DAO. I actually haven't. So TrustSwap is a scam. They endorse a rug pull prevention, but just got hacked with Hatch DAO rep. Ugh, yikes. I'll have to follow up on that. I did not see that. So apparently, there's both happiness and FUD being shared. But the issue here is that obviously with projects in crypto, and I went on this and I said security is key, and getting a security audit is pivotal. So hopefully it wasn't too catastrophic. I'll follow up on that and figure out what's happening. But it's also a time to plug something like security. Security, for example, Hacken. You guys know I'm an advisor for Hacken now. It's so key and so important in this space. Like, there's an exchange hack. Exchanges need penetration testing. they're smart contract hacks. Like hackers can make a lot of money in this space by breaching a contract, stealing funds from Kucoin or whatnot. Very likely it's a hacker that just took $150 million. That's a huge ass reward. And with crypto growing, or cryptocurrency prices going up, with new projects coming in, more funds being stored, you need security. So whether it's hacking, that's why I'm like, I wanted to not only like be helpful, but also build that positive relationship, because they are key to the space, right? And also on top of that, not just hacking, but Certicate. I've actually done a few investments into cryptocurrency security. So yeah, like this is key right now. Hacken actually does penetration testing for both like exchanges, and that was very much a staple of what they're doing. They have crypto exchange ranks. So they have CER, crypto exchange ranks, where they check the vulnerability, and they actually give you information of whether an account like an exchange has a penetration test, if they have the proof of funds, if they have bug bounties associated. So yes, Kucoin has been penetration tested, but they also have proof of funds, bug bounty, but still hackers can do it. And this is a key to remember here. Like one penetration test isn't enough. It's a continuous process. Like being one set of hackers, like sometimes there's like multiple audits, and then also multiple proofs and bug bounties are consistent. It's such a ongoing war, and I feel like this is something that the industry has to understand, and they have to constantly engage in that testing if they update. So we'll have to see what happened with KuCoin and their situation report, and they'll probably update us soon. So there you go. Oh, Magic Turtles, if only Hacken had a token. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. So yeah, following up. Put user into timeout. So yeah, so we got pretty much that. It's going. We got lots of politics. We got Tone Vase is going Trump crazy. I don't know. I no longer, take politics with my crypto anymore. That's just a one-way trip to wasting time. It's a pretty much the biggest time waster. So anyways, following that on everything, I'm just gonna round up with the news. So this is actually pretty cool. This is on CCTV2. You guys know how important CCTV2 is, but this is a Chinese channel that they literally said cryptos were one of the best performing assets of this year. That is crazy. So they're talking about this like 加密货币, right? 加密货币 is cryptocurrencies in Chinese. It's like, oh, they've risen up by 70% on mainstream Chinese news. And this is unheard of, because cryptocurrencies were so taboo, right? Remember in 2017 when China banned cryptocurrency exchanges and forced all Huobi and OKX to go international and then to go underground in China? Remember that? Remember? But now they did a full 180 flip and said, oh yeah, guess what? Cryptocurrencies, best performing assets of 2020. Guess what, guys? This is super cool. And they in fact have images of, Bitcoin, they have Ethereum, they have like Bitcoin ATMs, they're talking about all this stuff. And then Adobe also posted a message. It was a coordinated effort by the government, because CCTV2 and the media, they're government mouthpieces. They're not just news, right? I mean, if you're in the Western world, news is controlled by companies, but in China it's controlled by the government. So this is a government push to get us interested into cryptocurrencies, or get China interested in cryptocurrencies. A lot of this has to do with China pushing out their own version of a kind of like a digital currency called DCEP. So that's happening right now, and I think this is largely to play a part in that. But there is also a rumor that China is going to re-allow cryptocurrency exchanges to come back online, which is a very interesting rumor. They're basically saying that Huobi and OKX and potentially some more other exchanges, wink, 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 I can't read properly, but they could be coming back online soon. So who knows? That's where the mystery is. So whether it's bearish or bullish, that's time to check it out. And also, by the way, just quick shout out, guys. One of my friends is starting something called the Crypto Rex channel with yeah, it's a very this is a funny story, right? Because I have a lot of different friends, and one of my friends are very active in a lot of these new news and new, like we joke and say it's dumpster diving, right? You're dumpster diving, digging in for the biggest, hottest gems. But anyways, he's starting the Crypto Rex channel on. It's a announcement channel. It's a news channel on Telegram. So if you guys want to keep up to date on everything that's happening, check it out. I'm not gonna like say everything there is the best. It's very, very dangerous, but at the same time it's kind of information of what's happening in the hidden gem space. If you're interested in that sort of thing. I'm into both now, so I'm into big currencies, the mediums, and the hidden gems and everything. So check it out. Check that channel out. Julio uses, Mike, you can't read Chinese. I read Chinese, but very slow. So my native language is English. So yeah, so all my education is on English, but I can still read Chinese. I've been, I can read Chinese documents. It just mentally slower. Like sometimes, like when you've been, reading English for your entire life, it's easier. But like that's why my pronunciation is a little bit my Chinese pronunciation is a little bit more foreign, and my reading speed is a lot slower. So, anyways, that's the case. So I can read Chinese. That's fine. I'm not doing that. I think there's a lot of drama on this. Beyond Infinity and Beyond asked, did Kucoin get hacked? So most likely it's an incident, right? Just rewind a bit. I talked about what I'm assuming from all this here. But anyways, we got Lois is Vet is a hidden gem. Ooh, Vet. Haven't talked about that in ages. We should talk about that soon. We actually got a Sunny interview that's from a few months ago. Vet doing a lot of stuff. Like, it was kind of funny because we brought this up during the authenticity talk about it. This too, right? So VeChain is always talking about authenticity and creating valuable assets, right? And this is entering the discussion yet again with the whole NFT discussion. But yeah, Vet's doing that. There's also 8 Hour Foundation that's doing smart NFTs on Vet. So anyways, quite a lot going on. I think that's pretty much it for today's one. I had Willy Woo up here because he's quite bullish. So I thought, oh, that's pretty cool to put a bullish sentiment here on today's live stream. But we did Pancake Swap already. There's also Mushi Finance, which is like a clone of Meme Finance. All these like NFTs and stuff, just be like, it's fun, just be careful. All right. And I think, yeah, NFTs, crypto, DeFi, just the beginning. Those are 2 talks over there. And then Flamingo. I think we covered pretty much everything for today. So guys, thank you very much for watching today's video. Make sure you smash up those likes. We have like 400 people. This is totally unexpected because this is a random live stream. This is not a scheduled one. But yeah, I did run up much longer than I thought it would, but guys, smash up those likes. Come on, guys, show me some love. Smash up those likes. We have 414 people here right now, and we should have at least half smashing the likes, right? Come on, guys. It really does help. Unfortunately, that's the way with crypto, like not crypto, with YouTube. It's like you're just fighting for it. I hate being a beggar, like for me, I'm a very proud person. I hate going and begging everyone to smash up those likes. I definitely appreciate it. It really does help the channel out. We're trying to grow. On the growth side of things too, so boxmining.com, the whole team has been working super, super hard on this. So we got Flamingo updated. We're trying to be like super fast on top of everything. We got a serum guide already here. Boxmining.com, the newsletter is coming out. I'm actually looking at the preview of the newsletter. We keep you guys updated on what's happening in the cryptocurrency space. Lots and lots of information, just filling that gap, right? So if you guys want to get in touch with the newsletter, check that up here as well. Like, there's a lot being developed. It's just that, like, throughout last week, I was almost needing a crypto detox. Just like after few, I actually felt honestly depressed. Like, you guys can probably watch the video on Friday, like just yesterday. Like, I was actually quite depressed after few because of just how savage, quote unquote influencers were. They basically, a bunch of Ethereum OGs decided to gather together and create a pump and dump coin, right? And then they got caught red-handed. The chat logs were posted. They were like caught saying, "Oh, we need people to dump on." Like, why would you say that with your actual account? Like, this doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I was actually pretty depressed after that. It was just like, what's wrong with these dumbasses in this space? And then the worst part was they try to cover it up afterwards. Like, oh no, guys, it's just a joke. It was just a joke. We were just planning for 3 hours. This epic joke, you know. And then other people are like, oh, I was trying to, like, they're trying to protect their reputation. Oh, I was all legit all along. Look at this screenshot. And then they position a screenshot such that it seems like they're trying to make the project feel legitimate. Anyways, what a big stupid scam that it was just literally just like it destroyed all the respect I had for anyone involved in there. It's just like, you are involved. Like with these stuff, like it's just a situation where people need to walk away. Like, stop planning scams. That's important. But anyways, that's the way it does. We got Mohammed Takara says, I hope your friend is not Superman. All right, guys. I think there's so much controversy and so much hate being thrown at influencers, especially Superman. This is the hard part for me because, like, a lot of people hate him, and people actually don't know who he is. Like, I've actually met him in real life. He's actually not a dick. Out of all the cryptocurrency content creators, or I hate the word influencers, he actually has a soul. There are so many other ones that don't have a soul. Yes, his videos are too hypey. Yes, no, I don't really watch all of them, but I do watch some. And out of the stuff that he says, he's very hype based, but he's not a dick. I don't know. That's my 2 cents. That's my 2 cents. Like, yeah. Last call for pre-sale upswing. Who were the YouTubers? I'm not gonna go out on all anti YouTube war. It gets so political. Like, this 2 months, I basically said I'm staying away from global politics, YouTube politics, Twitter talk politics, coronavirus politics, whatever politics there is in real life, because that disrupts me from making money. Right? It's like, do you want to read politics and discuss politics, or do you want to make money? Right? It's like, it's a no-brainer. Right? Like, all that stuff, like, you keep an eye on it, but you definitely don't get emotionally involved or attached to it. The moment you get emotionally attached to it, you're screwed, because now you're like committed to arguing about politics, fighting for your cause. Oh my god, just make some bloody money. Protolist says, which crypto YouTubers do you watch, Michael? I actually very watch. I'll confess, because I do crypto YouTube, and I like, because this is like my day in and day out. I don't watch crypto YouTube a lot. It's like I hate, like, okay, it's hard to describe, but like, why I like live videos is that I don't have to edit it afterwards. But when I have to edit a video, I'm watching myself for like 6 hours, right? Just talking blah, blah, blah about crypto. I'm like, oh my gosh, shut up already, right? But you have to watch it, because if there's like a mistake or something in that video, like, people catch it and it gets annoying and stuff. Like, editing process is a pain. So now I'm doing more live. It's much better, but I still edit a few videos, right? But anyways, I watch myself too much. I hate myself. I want to punch that guy in the face. Like, what a dumbass, bro! I punch that guy in the face. But but yeah, that's the case, guys. So small arc says, well, Swap News, Michael. I'll take a look. It's not related to Swap. It's related to another project, right? Get over it. You can't, like, I think this is the other thing. You can't, like, not everyone can vouch for everything. If you're trusting, I think this is my other biggest pet peeve in the space. Never trust someone else for your own due diligence. Like, so many people trust others to say, oh, if this guy's doing it, that should be safe. Like, oh, if this big fund's doing it, that should be safe. No, man. No. Like, stop. You gotta be able to do your own due diligence. This is where profits are made. Think about it, right? And I think it's easier for me to say this because, like, I'm like full-time into this, right? Where I do my own research. I actually learn my own coding. I do everything myself. It's like, it's a stuff that I love and hate. Like, the problem is, if you don't verify with your own eyes and with your own intelligence and with your own understanding, who's to blame, right? Who's to blame? There we go. So there we go. Steve says, fair call and respected, Michael. So that's pretty much it. Oin DAO release tomorrow. Oh, I should check that out. There's a lot that I want to check out. I think someone suggested something else earlier. There's like so many things I want to check out, but there's a case in crypto. I mean, I adopted this policy here, which I'm aggressive looking at new projects, which is great. But throughout the mid cycle, right? So like around 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, it became too much, right? Every project deserves like 1 or 2 hours for you to look at, and it's just too much. And it's not even a situation where like I can afford the time. I cannot. It's just like literally there's gonna be thousands of new altcoins being created in this market now. It's like crazy, right? Especially if you go into the moon chat groups. I've been there too. Like, there's like these moon gems, gem hunters, or whatever the crap there is, moon hunters. But there's these groups, and you want to get a feel of the vibe of what's going on, because this becomes a part of your intelligence, of your intel on this whole market, right? And there are a million projects that's going to moon absolutely pull a 100x, and you're going to be able to miss it. Unfortunately, that's just the case with crypto. You can't be on everything, and being in crypto, it's kind of been okay with living with that. So what if you miss out on a 10 20x? Well, at least you made your own 10x, and that's my policy. I'm not going to make, and I'm okay with that. Like, not financial advice, and I think this is something that I discussed with my friends as well. Like, we're not going to make the most money here, right? We're very protective about our funds. Like, I think this is something that I learned from 2017 too. Like, we are survivors. We survived 2017, right? We did well in 2017. We survived. Did we make the most amount of money? Did we make like $100 million? No, we did not. Right? That's unfortunate. Too bad. Tough luck, right? The people who went from ICO to shitcoin to other coins, they made 100 million, and they also lost 100 million too. But we survived. We didn't gamble away our winnings. We have a long runway. That's all. It's great. You win. So that's my 2 cents. Anyways, guys, pretty much it for today's episode. Thank you guys all for being here. Julius uses Fox Money. Are you a Canon R5 guy now? No, unfortunately, I want to be. There's also a new Sony camera, the A7C. I'm so stuck in the Sony ecosystem. Unfortunately, I have all these lenses from Sony, so I don't think I can ever swap anytime soon. I did buy a film camera for fun, so you probably saw this in the background. So this is the Zcam E2, with a really shitty lens, but I should still protect it. But yeah, this is like with a huge battery pack. It records in RAW. It's 10-bit. It's got all the fancy stuff, and I'm like, I have no time to learn how to use this at all whatsoever. So yeah, this is now a very expensive, almost $2,000 decoration that's sitting on my desk right now. It's crypto, right? Crypto trumps everything. Unfortunately, it's just like you have to make the conscious decision. Like, there's some things you have to give up in life so you can make money. Yeah. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for coming in today. There are so many things I'm doing right now. Due diligence is definitely one of them, top of the list, making sure I don't lose money. It's pretty much it. So yeah, survive 2017, survive 2018. I'm gonna keep it that way. Be smart, that's key. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out the newsletter. Make sure you check out the podcast. CZMPP is like a nice paper holder. Yeah, this is pretty much my paperweight. Yeah. And there's lots of cool stuff coming. I have the Plutus card that I want to try out. So still a lot that's going on. I'm actually going to go out to Genesis Block on Tuesday next week. They're filming something really cool. So I might just bring this camera over. Who knows? Or maybe just bring that one over. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, be safe, stay safe, guys. Make sure you're not too affected by Kucoin hack or whatnot. Get a ledger. And that's around it. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Thank you for all the donations as well. Really appreciate it. And if you guys haven't checked it out yet, check out Bitcoin Out of the Box.